Hello everyone and welcome back to Sade Crochets. For this tutorial, you will need an F hook, which is a 3.75 millimeter hook. And then I am using Yarn Bee Secret Soft in the color red. It is a medium weight 4 yarn. And then you'll also need, of course, a pair of scissors. If you would like to customize any portion of this piece, then you can definitely use a measuring tape. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we are doing sizes extra small through 3X, okay? So we're going to start off by making a slip knot, and we're going to do our foundation chain. So for extra small, you'll chain out 40. For small, do 42. For medium, do 46. For large, do 50. For 1X, go ahead and chain out 54. For 2X, you can do 60, and for 3X, do 64. So we're just going to make this foundation chain, and I will meet you there. All right, so I am making a size large, so I made 50 chains here. And so next we're going to do our first row, and we're going to skip that very first chain next to our hook and go into the second chain from our hook, and we're going to put a double crochet there. If you like chaining 2 before you do a double crochet, you can do that too, but I just like chaining 1 for a lot of my clothing items. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So we're just going to do basic double crochets all the way across. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's all we're doing, is double crochets straight across. So go ahead and complete this row, just doing plain double crochets across, and I will meet you there. Okay, so I have 1 stitch left, and everyone should have 1 less double crochet than the foundation chain. So for extra small, you should have 39 double crochets. A small should have 41. A medium should have 45. A large 49. 1X 53. 2X 59. And 3X should have 63 double crochets in this row. So from here, we're going to move on to row 2. So chain 1 and turn. And this row is going to be our repeating row. So we're going to, this is the actually the back of the bikini right now. So we're going to do a double crochet decrease in the first 2 rows. So yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, pull up a loop, insert into the second stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then you'll have 2 loops around your hook, yarn over, and pull through 2. So that was our decrease. And now we're just going to do 1 double crochet in every stitch across until we have 2 stitches left. So go ahead and double crochet your way across, and I will meet you there. All right, so I have completed my row, and I still have 2 stitches left. So we are going to go ahead and decrease in these last 2 stitches, just like we did at the beginning of the row. So yarn over, insert your hook into that second to last stitch, pull up a loop, and then insert into that last stitch and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 3, and yarn over and pull through 2. So that is our first decreasing row, and we are actually just going to repeat this row. So sizes extra small through 1x, you are going to repeat this pattern until you have 7 double crochets left in your row. And for sizes 2x and 3x, you're going to repeat this pattern until you have 9 double crochets left in your row. So go ahead and continue this decreasing pattern where we decrease in the first 2 stitches and the last 2 stitches. Repeat that row until you hit either 7 or 9 double crochets in your row. All right, so this is what it looks like so far. I continued decreasing until I had 7 double crochets in the row, and all the sizes should have 7 except for 2x and 3x. You should have 9 double crochets in this row. So from here, what we're going to do is chain 1. Looks like I already did. Chain 1 and turn. And then we're going to just go straight across with double crochets. So I'm going to put 7 double crochets here. Everyone else will 2, and sizes 2x and 3x, you will be putting 9 double crochets straight across. So it's a very easy row. This is all we're doing for this row. Just 1 double crochet in every stitch. So this past row that we just did, just going straight across with no decreases, we are going to repeat this row 5 more times. So we'll have 6 of these total with just straight across double crochets. So go ahead and repeat this row 5 more times. Whether you have 9 or 7, just repeat it 5 more times and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I finished my 6 rows of just double crochets straight across, and that's what it looks like so far. And next what we're going to do is we are going to begin increasing. So from here we're going to chain 1 and turn. And in this very first stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. So yarn over and put 1 double crochet into that first stitch, and then yarn over and put 1 more into the same stitch. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch across until we have 1 left. So 1 double crochet in every stitch. And this step is the same for all the sizes. 2x and 3x, you will have 11 double crochets at the end of this row, and the rest of the sizes will have 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then in the last one, we're going to put 2 double crochets. So again, all the sizes will have 9 except 2x and 3x, you will have 11 in this row. Okay, so from here we're just going to keep repeating that. So chain 1 and turn, and we're just repeating this row. So we're putting an increase in the first stitch by putting 2 double crochets into the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet in every stitch across until we have 1 stitch left. And so let's see, we have 2 left. So when you get to your last stitch, we'll do the same thing, and we'll put 2 double crochets into that last stitch. So now you can see it's kind of starting to get wider here. And so this is our increasing pattern. It's super simple. We're just going to put an increase in the very first stitch of every row and the very last stitch of every row. So we are going to repeat this pattern For size extra small, you're going to repeat this pattern until you have 67 double crochets in your row. I think right now we have 11. Yeah. So extra small, you're going to 67 double crochets. A small, you're going to continue this pattern until you reach 71 double crochets in your row. A medium, do 75. A large can do 81. 1x, you will be doing this pattern until you reach 85. And then 2x, you're going to continue until you reach 91. And 3x, go until you have 95 double crochets in your row. So this is quite a bit of a step here that we're going to continue to repeat, but it's a very, very simple pattern. So go ahead and repeat this until you reach those numbers, or, and I'll show you when we get there, you're actually going to want to repeat this until it reaches under the bust area, kind of like where the band of the bra goes. That's where you want this to reach. Those are like more general recommendations that I gave you, but if you are shorter, you might need a couple of less rows than that to reach your under the bust area, and if you're taller, maybe you need 1 or 2 more rows than what I said for you. So go ahead and repeat this pattern. If you want to measure it up against yourself, you can. It should come right below the bust area. So I will meet you there and show you what. All right, so this is what it looks like so far once you complete your increases. And it's a good time to go ahead and hold this up against yourself just to make sure that this is long enough or not too long for you. It should be about 1 inch shorter or so, and it does have some stretch going up depending on what yarn you're using. I know that cotton stretches a little bit less usually, so with cotton you might need an extra row maybe. So it's always a good idea to hold it up against yourself, and just so you know, like right before the increases start, that's kind of where the fold is in the back. Okay, so after you make sure that this is a good fit, we'll move on to kind of like the top portion to cover the bra area. So from here, what we're going to do is chain 1 and turn. And for all the sizes, we are this next row is going to be our repeat row for a little while. So chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to start decreasing again. So in these first 2 stitches, I'm going to do a decrease. And then in the middle, I'm just going to do 1 double crochet in every stitch until I have 2 stitches left. So go ahead and finish this row until you have 2 stitches left, and I'll meet you there. Alright, so once you have your 2 stitches left, we'll go ahead and decrease in those last 2, just like we did in the beginning of this row. So I'm going to consider this row that we just did row 1 of the bra cup, just for conversation purposes. So anyway, this row we are going to be repeating. So this is row 1, and I'm actually going to give you recommended amount of rows for the bra cup as opposed to small, medium, large. So the purpose of this decreasing part, we just want to get it high enough so that it covers the nipple area, but you don't, unless you want more coverage, you just want to get it to cover the nipple area. So I'm going to give some recommended sizes or recommended amount of rows for A, B, C, D, double D, and triple D. So for an A cup, you want to repeat this row 9 more times. And so you'll have 10 rows total of this. Okay, so repeat this decreasing row 9 more times. B cup, go ahead and repeat this 10 more times. A C cup can repeat it 11 more times. A D cup can repeat 12 more times. A double D can repeat it 15 more times, and a triple D can repeat it 18 more times. Now these are my recommendations. If you want more cleavage, if you have the proper coverage and you want it a little lower than what I said, then just go ahead and do that. If you want more coverage, go ahead and do that. This is your piece, so do it how you like. I'm just recommending. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm making a D cup, and so I'm going to make this, repeat this row 12 more times. So go ahead and repeat the amount of rows you need for your desired fit, and I will meet. All right, so I finished my decreases, and I am making a D cup, which I said I was going to do 13 rows total, but I ended up doing 11 because I did hold it up against myself. Even though the 13 will provide more coverage, I found that this was the lowest point that for my body, that 11 rows was good for me. And so that's why I was saying, you know, you can kind of adjust this step. If you want more coverage, just do a few more rows. If you like a little less coverage, then, you know, just do, I think 2 less than what I originally said would probably still fit everyone. So just do your own thing with that step. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to start building up the individual straps. So from here, chain 1 and turn. I already chained, looks like. Okay. So in this very first stitch here, we are going to do another double crochet decrease. So pull up a loop, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through 2. And then in the next, for extra small and small, you're going to do a double crochet, 1 double crochet in the next 8 stitches. For medium, large, and 1x, you're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 10 stitches. And then 2x and 3x, you're going to do 1 double crochet into the next 12 stitches. So I have my decrease 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then after you do that portion, in the next 2 stitches, we're going to put another decrease. So like that. Okay, and then from there we'll chain 1 and turn. And we're going to continue decreasing on both sides. So we're going to decrease in the first 2 stitches, and then 1 single crochet in every stitch across until we have 1 stitch left, or 2 stitches left, and then we'll decrease in those last 2 stitches. And those are my last 2, so I'll just go ahead and decrease. And so we're going to repeat this last row here until it's a triangle. So go ahead and keep repeating this row until there is 3 stitches left. I'm sorry, until there's 2 stitches left. There should be 2 stitches left here. So I'll meet you there. Okay, so I decreased until I had 2 stitches left, and then I will chain 1 and turn. And then I'm going to do a single crochet decrease in the last 2 stitches. So I'll insert my hook, pull up a loop, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then I'm going to fasten off by chaining 1. And so that's the first side. Okay, so that was the beginning of this first side here, and now we have to do the other side. Now, because I started this row on the right, and I want my pattern to continue, every other row pattern to continue, I'm going to reattach my yarn on the right side, not in the corner. That way my pattern can stay consistent. So for extra small and small, just count inwards 12 stitches. For medium large and extra large, count in 14 stitches. And for 2x and 3x, count in 16 stitches. And then that's the stitch that we're going to reattach our yarn to. So mine was 14, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is where I'm going to reattach. So I'm just going to double knot it. And I'm definitely crocheting over this tail as I go. So once you have it reattached to the proper stitch, go ahead and pull up a loop. And we're just going to, I'm just going to chain 1. Just remember that chain 1 is there so you don't go into it. You might want to count your stitches, but we'll just do our first double crochet decrease like we did before, and we're just pretty much repeating what we did on the other side. So we're doing a double crochet decrease and then 1 double crochet in every stitch across, and definitely crochet over this tail as you go. And then when we hit our last 2 stitches, we'll do another double crochet decrease again. So it's just a repeat of the first little triangle that we did. So go ahead and repeat this triangle over here the same way, and I'll meet you there. We're not going to fasten off this time after this second triangle. Alright, so I have repeated my second triangle, and I'm just going to match them up to make sure I did them both correctly. Just make sure they're the same size, and from here we're going to just go ahead and start on our straps. So we're just going to make a basic chain. For extra small, and medium, you can chain out 100. For large, do 125. And for 1x, 2x, and 3x, you can chain out 140 chains. So go ahead and make this chain, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I finished my chain, and from here I'm just going to run some slip stitches back along this chain. I know you guys know I love that. So I'm just going to skip this first chain space closest to my hook and go into the second one, pull up a loop, and slip stitch. And I'm just going to put 1 slip stitch in every chain space all the way back along this chain until I reach the base of the bikini bottom again, or the top of the bikini again. Okay, so I slip stitched all the way down my chain, and now I'm going to do a border along the side of these rows here. So I normally just, if it's just regular double crochet rows, which these kind of are, I try to put, so this very last row was a single crochet row, so I'm just going to put one single crochet, whoops, one single crochet in the side of this top row here. And then for all the other ones, I'm going to put, I'm going to try my best to put 2 single crochets in the side of every double crochet row, because that kind of is how high the rows are on the side. So they can usually fit 2 single crochets. So we're going to just go ahead and place our single crochets. Do your best to space them out on the side of these rows until we reach this corner here. So we're going to do our last single crochets in this row where we started decreasing, not into the increasing row. So you'll be able to see it. So go ahead and line this with single crochets and I'll meet you there. Alright, so I have single crocheted all the way down until I reached this little peak here. And now we're going to do our strap that goes under the bust. So for size extra small and small, you can do 85 chains here. For medium, you can do 110 chains here. Sorry, my yarn keeps splitting while I'm talking. I'm like, okay. What did I say? Medium do 110, large do 135, 1X can do 160, a 2X can do 175, and a 3X can do 190 chains. So go ahead and make this chain long enough for you, and I will meet you there. Alright, so I made my strap long enough for me, and now I'm going to do the same thing and slip stitch all the way back down to the bikini. So go ahead and slip stitch back down this chain, and then we will meet you there. So y'all, real quick, I am making this up as I go, so I know everybody is probably, maybe size small, might not, but I need a whole new skein of yarn. So I'm just going to show you how to do a magic knot, just in case you do run into this. So I take my old string and my new string, and I just basically tie them together. So I take one of them and tie a single knot around the first string, and then I take the next string and I tie it around the first string. So they're both tied to each other pretty much. And then it should look like that, just 2 ties, and then you pull them together, pull them a little bit tight, and then from there you're just gonna cut off these tails. So this should not come out. That's if you have to change in the middle of, like, I'm in the middle of slip stitching down this chain. So I just wanted to show you how to do a magic knot, because definitely I'd say maybe medium and up is definitely going to need more than one skein of yarn, depending on how big your yarn is, how big your skein is. All right, so let's continue. Okay, so once you are finished with lining these chain spaces with slip stitches, we're just going to continue our single crochet border. So we're still going to do try to do 2 single crochets in the side of every row, and we're going to continue that all the way down until we reach this back corner here. So that's going to be where our next strap is. So go ahead and go all the way down this whole side of the bikini, and I'll meet you there. All right, so I have lined this entire side with single crochets, and I'm going to put one single crochet into this foundation chain. You might be on the other side for me, and that's fine, but this foundation chain, I always get paranoid about like these reopening. If I just crochet over that regular, it could in theory come out. So with my foundation chain, I just pull it a little bit tight, not so tight that I can't get into it, but I just go over one stitch and act like I'm tying off just so that it's a little bit more secure. So I just make a knot one stitch away before I commit to crocheting over it. So anyway, you do want to hit this the side of this stitch with a single crochet before we go ahead and make our ties. So the ties for the back, we're going to just start chaining out for extra small and small. You can do 150 chains. This chain is going to be a little bit longer because it has to wrap around to the front of the body. So small and extra small do 150. Medium can do 160, a large can do 170, a 1X can do 180, 2X can do 190, and 3X can do 200. So go ahead and chain that out, and I will meet you there. And again, so once you make your string long enough, we will slip stitch back along this chain, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I slip stitched all the way back down, or it looks like I have one left here. And then I'm going to single crochet into this corner stitch of the foundation chain. And then from here, I'm just going to, as I'm crocheting over this tail, I'm going to put one single crochet in every stitch until I reach the other corner. So I'm going to repeat the strap that I did here in the other corner, and then we're going to continue single crocheting along the sides of these rows until we hit the peak here where the other strap was. So just try to get that in the same spot right as you got the other one. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same strap that we did at the top. So I'll write down in a brief, I'll write it down here because I know that was 3 different straps that we did and they were all different sizes. So I'll just write that down really quick as a reminder. But once you finish this strap here at the top, we're going to meet there and then we'll finish our border. Okay, so go ahead and start on your straps and the rest of your border, and I'll meet you here at the top. All right, so once you are finished lining the entire perimeter except for the neckline, and you did your last strap here, we'll go ahead and continue. And the rest is pretty simple. We're just going to begin placing single crochets down this center neckline here. So we're going to stick to our rule and try to put 2 single crochets in the side of every double crochet row. Crochet over this tail as you go. So 2 single crochets in the side of every double crochet row, and then once we get down here, we're going to just put 1 single crochet in every stitch since these are actual stitches, and then we'll put 2 single crochets in the side of every row going back up this small triangle here. Okay. All right, so I have crocheted single crochets along the neckline here. And lastly, all we have to do now, once you finish lining that, is go ahead and slip stitch to kind of try to slip stitch to the base of the strap so it doesn't look so bad, and then we will fasten off and we are finished. This should be the only strap that needs to be weaved in. We have, after all of this, we just have one. So all the rest of them, I believe we covered up. So yes, we are finished. So thank you all so much for watching once again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment if you like this video. I do love it too when people show me the finished pieces on Instagram. I love seeing your work. So even if you changed it, even if you're selling it, I don't care. That's why I'm here. So I'm just here to support. It's always nice to see your work on Instagram. So you can find me on Instagram at Sharday_crochets.com. And then if you do have some other work of your own that you would like shouted out, my other Instagram page is Crocheters of Insta, and I'll put that on the screen. I do shout out when people drop patterns, when they drop a new YouTube video, when they just have a new item they want to share. So I do give out shout outs there. So anyway, thanks again, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.